What's happening, Hawks? Coach Jones here, Isaac Malloy behind the camera, and we're here to walk you through how to get your orange band, taking a look at your orange band requirements checklist. As you scan down the checklist, you see that we start with volleys. In order to get your volleys checked off, you have to hit 20 consecutive backhand volleys and 20 consecutive forehand volleys, and those have to go cross court. Notice that those backhands and forehands are separate items on the checklist, so you can check them off independently of one another if one is your strong suit and the other one's a little bit weaker. All right, Hawks, for your forehand volley, you'll be near the net, no closer to the net than the end of the short fence on our courts. You'll remember to use your continental grip. You'll be in the ready position facing the net, and you'll have a feed coming towards you, either fed by a coach, perhaps by a ball machine, perhaps by a capable teammate, giving you relatively easy feeds. We're going to stand you off to your forehand side because these balls have to be directed cross court. So in order for this to count, to go in and count, it has to cross the center service line and land in, and we will count the alleys as being in. Again, proper grip, that's the continental grip. Proper technique, ready position. If you step to the ball, you want to step with the opposite foot, whether you're stepping forward or whether you're stepping across. Most of these feeds are going to be pretty easy, trying to direct it to you, so it's just going to be a forward step if you take a step at all, or even standing put if the ball's right where you want it. Making good, square, clean contact out to the side if you're using that proper continental grip. Let's have a look. For backhand volleys, you're gonna hit them to the backhand side of the court, or excuse me, from the backhand side of the court. Ball machine coach or capable teammate giving you easy feeds, standing no closer to the net than the end of the short fence, and aiming them cross court. And in order for it to count as cross court, it has to pass the center service line, land in, and it can land in the alleys. Now, many of you volley with two hands, while many of us, myself included, volley with one hand. As long as you're using proper technique, either of those are fine. In fact, this is true for forehand volleys and for your ground strokes as well. In this particular shot, because so many people volley with two hands on the backhand side, I'll try to demonstrate that and one-handed backhand volleys like I would normally hit. Let's take a look. Under serves, you have to hit 7 out of 10 spin serves. That would be a slice or top spin serve from each side of the court, due side and ad side. Notice that those are separate items on the checklist. You can get one signed off without having yet accomplished the other side. For your serves, you're going to hit 7 out of 10 top spin or slice serves. A slice has more side spin to it. Top spin has more top spin. They're both going to have a blend of each. Later on, you get more advanced, you may learn about something called a kick serve, which is a type of top spin serve. You're going to serve from whichever spot you like, whether it's closer to the center of the court like you would for singles more often, or whether it's farther out wide like you might for doubles. It's going to be your choice. Remember that these are separate items on the checklist. Now on the due side, I'll demonstrate the slice serve. The slice serve is going to have my toss a little bit more to my hitting side, a little bit more to my right, and the side spin is going to be more pronounced, and it's typically going to bounce off to my left, my opponent's right. When I demonstrate on the ad side, I'll hit a topspin serve, instead of a slice, and that's going to have a more pronounced arc. It'll clear the net by higher, and it's going to kick up and forward, but less of a curve after the bounce. The big difference, if you can see it in the video, will be the toss placement. Toss placement and contact point for the slice will be more to my right and maybe a little lower. On the ad side, that toss will be more right above me and nice and high. I'm still hitting spin. It's just here versus slice, or there versus top spin. Let's take a look, and keep in mind, if I miss some of those, and I certainly might, you get 7 out of 10. We've had players miss their first 2 or even 3 and go on to hit all the rest in a row and get their 10 or their 7 out of 10. Let's take a look at a couple slice serves on the deuce side. Now we're going to try a couple of topspin serves from the ad side. I'm going to place my toss a little bit more above me. I want you to note, I hit those fairly fast, but what you want to do is keep your technique like it's supposed to be and just hit more spin. The ball wasn't going that fast. I swung kind of fast, but I controlled the pace of my shot and the direction and all of it by hitting more spin, by brushing the ball like this with the edge of the racket coming forward. Let's take a look at how we do on the ad side with that toss, not so much at what we might call 1:30 or 2 o'clock, but 12 o'clock right above me. Top spin serve from the ad side. Oh for 1. 1 for 2. 2 for 3. Under ground strokes, you have to hit 5 consecutive backhands cross court and 5 consecutive forehand ground strokes cross court. Notice that those are separate items on the checklist. For your forehand ground stroke cross court, you stand at the baseline in the ready position with proper footwork and unit turn and proper grip. You hit 5 forehands in a row. Those shots have to land in, including the alley, and they have to cross the center service line in order to be considered cross court. Coach will position you to the forehand side, your forehand side of the center of the court, and feed you, or have a ball machine or a capable teammate feed you easy feeds for you to direct all your shots cross court. Let's have a look. For your backhand ground strokes, you'll hit 5 consecutive shots in, cross court. You'll be positioned to your backhand side of the court. You'll get easy feeds from the coach, the ball machine, or from a capable teammate. Using proper technique, proper footwork, proper unit turn, all that, you hit the shots in, they cross the center service line in order to be considered cross court. They land in the court, and we do count the alleys on these shots. Remember, you will start from the ready position, not from the racket turned position like you maybe did for your yellow band. Let's take a look. And under special shots, you're going to hit what we call defensive lobs. That's going to be hit with very little spin or some underspin. You have to hit 5 from the backhand side, 5 from the forehand side for a total of 10. And you need to pay attention to the fact that this is a single item on the checklist, which means you have to get all 5 on both sides to get that signed off. They have to happen all together. For your moon balls, for your lobs, you have to hit your 5 off each side. You can hit it one-handed or two-handed. You can hit it continental grip which points the strings more upward. On your forehand side, you can hit it with your forehand grip, which will get your hand behind the racket but make you have to turn your hand a little bit more to point the strings up. On your backhand side, you can hit it with your two-handed backhand. That's your shot, pointing the strings up. You can hit it with just that continental grip, which is the base grip of that two-handed backhand, with the one-arm shot. This is usually not a full swing that goes all the way around your body like a big topspin ground stroke. It's almost like a long volley that just goes up, and you want to hit the ball somewhere kind of on the bottom of the ball and just aim it upwards. It's going to have relatively little spin. If it has some underspin, totally okay. That's more of a defensive lob. If it has a tiny bit of topspin, that's okay. But what we're not doing is having you hit big topspin lobs, which is a much more offensive shot and a much tougher shot to execute. This is when you're in trouble, and all you do is pat the bottom of the ball. You want to get it nice and high, at least as high as the back fence, but probably higher. It has to go up over a coach who's going to be standing near the service line with their racket extended. There might be a player, somebody there just to say, look, it has to go higher than where somebody can reach it from near the net. Anywhere that deep that's still in, including the alleys, and you're going to get easy feeds, kind of high, kind of soft, easy feeds to you where you're at the baseline at the center of the court. Feeds coming from the ball machine, from a coach, or from a capable teammate. I'm going to demonstrate a couple of forehands, then a couple of backhands. You could test forehand, backhand, alternate them like that, but most players don't. They test all of one, then all of the other. Which order you go in is totally up to you. You can start with your strength, you can end with your strength. It's your call. Let's take a look at some defensive lobs, aka moonballs. At the very bottom of the card, you see strategy and movement. These are things you'll need to be doing when you execute some of the other items above. And once you've got everything signed off, coaches sign off the bottom part to complete your card. The first item under strategy and movement is start your volleys and ground strokes from the ready position. No more beginning from the sideways position on a drop feed like you did for your yellow band, for example, or you had the option to do. You'll see that you are to use proper grip and form for all your serves. Now that you've demonstrated you know that, by achieving your yellow band, we expect you to keep doing it. And you need to use proper footwork and unit turn to execute your backhand volley, forehand volley, and backhand and forehand ground strokes. Once again, you've demonstrated that technique. To earn your yellow band, you need to keep using it as you progress with your skill levels.